In today's recap, we'll dive into the complex lives of our protagonists from Doctor Slump. This drama takes us on an emotional roller coaster, beginning with a heart-stopping moment and rewinding to a time filled with hope, ambition, and dreams. Get ready to explore a world where high-stakes rivalries, personal failures, and unexpected bonds shape the destinies of our characters. Let's unravel the story together. Our story opens with a scene that could change everything. Harniel, one of our main characters, stands frozen in the middle of a crosswalk as a truck barrels toward her. In that split second, as she stares down the possibility of her life ending, we are suddenly taken back to 2009, a time when her world was much simpler, full of youth, hope, and dreams. In 2009, Harniel is the top student in her school. She meticulously plans every minute of her day to maximize her studying, even during a family feud, when her aunts are pulling each other's hair out in the background. To Harniel, these math problems won't solve themselves. But her story doesn't stay in the small town of Bosom for long. Harniel convinces her widowed mother to move the family to Seoul, setting the stage for what will become her life's biggest rivalry and love story. In Seoul, she meets Young Woo, another brilliant student who, like Harniel, aced the mock exam. He might not seem as competitive at first, but he's quick to race Harniel to class, eager to see who can clock in more study time. Fast forward to the present, and Young Woo is at the top of his game. He's the epitome of success, a renowned plastic surgeon with a YouTube channel, a thriving mass pack business, and several clinics under his belt. But just as he seems invincible, a mysterious patient dies on his operating table. This catastrophe is only the beginning. The court case that follows reveals damning evidence of medical negligence, leaving Young Woo with a mountain of debt, a tarnished reputation, and a life in shambles. Meanwhile, life hasn't been kind to Harniel either. A mistake during her exams cost her a spot at her dream school, but she still managed to attend medical school and become an anesthesiologist. However, her career isn't as glamorous as she had hoped. Long hours, little recognition, and a rejected thesis make her daily grind unbearable. The overwork and lack of proper meals catch up to her, and she faints in the middle of a crosswalk, the very moment we saw at the start. Miraculously, the truck swerves at the last second, leaving her physically unharmed, but emotionally scarred. Seeking help, Harniel is diagnosed with depression and burnout, though she brushes off the severity of her condition. Instead of taking her prescribed medication, she chooses to drown her sorrows in beer, retreating to her rooftop to drink in solitude. But she's not alone for long. Young Woo, her old rival, is there too, and they both scream in shock upon realizing they're now neighbors. Their rivalry, which began in high school, was intense. Both were obsessed with being the top student, and their classmates even took bets on who would place first during midterms. Harniel dethroned the old king, nearly causing Young Woo to faint in class. This incident reignited his competitive spirit, and he made it his mission to beat Harniel in everything. Their rivalry was the talk of the school, but to them it was a serious battle, not the romantic comedy everyone else saw. Back in the present, Young Woo is struggling to find a place to live, as his reputation as a doctor has been destroyed by the botched surgery. Despite this, a plastic surgeon named Dae Young secretly supports Young Woo, believing in his innocence even as the world condemns him. However, Dae Young's nursing staff wishes he would focus more on his failing clinic than on Young Woo's troubles. Young Woo's investigation into the surgery leads him to the anesthesiologist involved, but he finds no solid evidence of foul play. When he runs into Harniel at the hospital, their old rivalry sparks up again, leading to a petty argument about their high school days. Despite the tension, this interaction lifts Harniel's spirits, if only briefly. But her day takes a turn for the worse when her superior humiliates her again, throwing papers in her face and ordering her to assist in a VIP surgery. Harniel ends up saving his incompetent performance in the OR, but the stress pushes her closer to the edge. During her next therapy session, she admits to chest pains, and her doctor warns that her depression is manifesting physically, urging her to rest. The severity of her condition finally hits her, but life forces her hand when her scummy superior tries to make her take the fall for his mistake. Harniel decides she's had enough. When he tries to bully her into submission, She kicks him in the shin, making him kneel. She resigns on the spot, throwing her badge on the table. News of her resignation spreads quickly, and her best friend Hong Rand rushes to her side. However, Hong accidentally reveals Harniel's secret to her mom, leading to a tense confrontation. When Harniel finally admits she's suffering from depression, her mom refuses to believe her, deepening her isolation. As Harniel rushes out of the house in tears, Jung-woo watches from the stairwell, having overheard everything. Later that night, he invites her out for drinks, and they end up at their high school reunion, where they are reminded of how alone they've felt despite their successes. During their stroll home, Jung-woo reveals that he's always wanted to flick her on the forehead, and they exchange playful hits. Just as Jung-woo is about to flick her, Harniel receives a text from her mom. The message is a heartfelt apology, with her mom acknowledging her mistake and expressing unconditional love. Harniel bursts into tears, and seeing her cry, Jung-woo can't hold back his emotions either. In that moment, they find comfort in each other's arms, choosing to forget some of their pain together, if only for a night. And that wraps up our recap of these two intense episodes of Doctor Slump. As we've seen, Harniel and Jung-woo's lives are far from easy, but their shared history and unexpected reunion may just help them heal their old wounds. If you're enjoying these recaps, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you won't miss the next chapter in their story. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.